Hey guys, so everybody loves that shallow depth of field look, but you don't need long lenses to be able to achieve it. In today's video, I'm going to debunk the myth that wide angle lenses necessarily have a greater depth of field than telephoto lenses. So in this simple demonstration, I just want to show you that if you replicate the same shot using a wide lens or a longer lens, you'll end up with the same depth of field. Now to be clear, depth of field is the total amount of your shot that's in sharp focus. There's often people think that it starts at the focus point. Reality is in most cases, 1/3 of the focus is in front of that point and 2/3 behind. For example, if we're focusing right on the eye, and let's say at our settings we had 3 inches depth of field, you're going to have 1 inch in front and 2 inches behind. So keep that in mind when you're working out exactly where you want to put the focus in your shots. Now, whatever style of photography you do, the frame is vitally important. So if you're going to move from a 20mm lens to a 200mm lens, you're going to need to back up so you can keep the edge of the frame. For example, if we're taking portraits, you want to keep the same crop on the person, you're going to need to move back and forward as you change your focal length to keep the same overall shot. Let's head outside and test it out. All right, so to make sure I keep the same frame on each of these shots, I'm gonna aim for the little cutout on the side of her shirt as the bottom of frame and just above the head as the top of frame. I'm gonna start out at 30mm. So if you just go to the end of the little walkway, let's frame it up. Thankfully, this lens at 24 doesn't, the 24N doesn't have a lot of focus breathing. Okay, so I'm shooting all of these at 2.8. Yes, duck face, excellent, excellent.
So there at 30mm, you can see everything that's in the background is quite small, but there's a lot of background there. You can spot the boats and stuff, but the area that's actually in sharp focus, the amount of depth of field is really small. Even going from her eyes to her neck, the focus has started to fall away. Okay, let's step back, throw the 85 on, and replicate the frame again at 2.8.
Same frame, look to me, give me duck mouth, duck face. And then remember the duck feet we had in China? Give me duck feet. I know you love them.
Here at 85, it's a very different looking shot. You can see what's in the background is a lot bigger like the boats because of the compression, but still a tiny depth of field.
Okay, next up, let's go 135. Okay, and then replicating the frame on the 135. Just imagine you just bumped into Tiger backstage at the concert.
There at 135, obviously thrilled to meet Tiger. Again, different looking background, but not a huge difference in terms of what's actually in focus, just how the outer focus areas look. And same thing at 200. The boats that are there are really big and there's a nice diffuse background, but let's go through them one by one. Keeping the frame the same, at 200mm, 4 meters away from them, we have 6.45 centimeters depth of field. Using the 135 lens, 2.7 meters away, we get the exact same edges of the frame and exactly 6.45 centimeters depth of field again. At 85mm and then 1.7 meters away, bingo, we have 6.45 centimeters. And finally, using the 30mm lens, being just 60 centimeters away from her, we have, drumroll, well, actually it's 6.47, so ever so slightly more, but not much in terms of sharp focus.
So as you saw in those shots, of course, changing your focal length does change the compression of the background and the relative size of your subject to the background as you get more or less of the background in your shot. But the actual depth of field that's in the shot remains pretty much exactly constant. So the only merit to saying that wider lenses have a greater depth of field is if you didn't adjust the frame, and then it's no longer the same shot. So I hope you found that useful. Thank you to Jade for coming along today. Do jump over to mattgranger.com, check out what's going on there. You can sign up to our mailing list, all the different series we have going on there. And please do check out Public Bodies, my second art nude photography book, this time shot in public places all around the world. Links in the caption below. Thanks guys, see ya.